best wrestling podcast in the world. Fact, the road-wearing original Pete, the believing, power of positivity, keeping it Rollins, the Summit. Fact, the homicidal, the genocidal, the ECW-loving, daring young creeping, Mr. No Days Off, Scott. Fact, the biscuit and gravy eating, Naomi loving, lunatic craving, the melting pot, JP, and you can bank on that. Fact, the Bailey hugging, the interrupting, the Jaeger drinking, mouth of the Carolinas, Lil Steven. Fact.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I miss you, Darren Young. Little Steven, Darren Young, in a evening gown match with Pat Patterson. Little Steven gets a little French Canadian in him. Jeff Hardy's going to face Jay Leno in a steel chairs match. People are just jealous because I got skills.
Here's my issue. Is it worse to get beat by one midget or three? Little Steven in a beer drinking contest with Naomi. I have this big issue with people. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Just kept it Rollins. Jimmy Hart,
Chirpway.
X-Pac against Lil Steven in a microphone on a pole match. Anything can happen. It's lightweight. If you don't want it, then don't bark it.
We're three-man band. That's horrible. We don't want to make you look bad.
You're fired, sir. When you want to hear me mess up, they're in Radioland. When you want to hear me not mess up, I did not know that. Wow. Wrestling with attitude. When you want your beer, awesome.
Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude. Of course, I am the Summit of Wrestling. Little Steven just moved his snake. And
Are we allowed to say that on air?
what? It was a snake.
God, don't.
And, of course, that's the Real Scott Ely that you hear in the background.
Little
And-
Steven just threw his dream catcher on me.
Oh, it's a dream catcher. All right.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And, of course, Little Steven. And, of course, everybody on our Periscopians, welcome to today's show. We've got a great show. We have mind games this week. Our top five. Will you stop like
We can't see my pretty face. His mic's in the way.
And in this corner.
No, unfortunately, we can see you. But no, we got a great show today. Top five. We got SummerSlam picks for this weekend. And we'll talk about NXT TakeOver as well because it's Saturday.
Oh, I cannot wait.
And remind me, we need to talk about Ring of Honor because that's Friday night.
Did you say remind me or mermind me?
I say remind me.
I can't believe he said, unfortunately, we can see my face. I'm the face that runs this place.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, then where the hell have you been?
Yeah.
Some people have to work.
What have you been running?
Yeah.
Should we share news now? Or you want to wait?
Nope, share the news now. Come on. Break
All
his heart.
In case you don't know, this week's top five was our most overrated wrestlers of all time. And one of my top five was going to be somebody I'm actually going to get the interview this next week, but I'm not going to put him on my top five. I will have the pleasure to interviewing Tommy Dreamer next week.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
Where?
on the radio.
Next week here?
I don't know exactly.
Yeah,
where.
don't tell him it'll be here because he'll be here like all day. He'll be like, where is he?
Issues connecting. Yeah, I know. Let us know. Unfortunately, internet.
It's
works
garbage.
Yeah,
But-
sorry, it's
Whoa, that is big news.
Cool. But yes, big news. I get to interview Tommy Dreamer next week,
Nice.
or be a part of an interview with Tommy Dreamer. So
You better let me know where that is and why and when.
I know I will. So before we leave today, we'll figure out some questions that you guys would like me to ask.
Okay, can we not let Scott have any of these questions?
Well, if you want good questions, sir.
Because I feel like they're going to be like stalkerish.
What
What kind of hair brand shampoo do you use? What kind of toothpaste do you
Why
use?
do you hate fried mushrooms?
You see, my question was
That's a
to
good
be my question: how does it feel to lay on a bearskin rug while Bailey hits you with a baseball bat?
Steven's actually dreamt about that.
I have dreamed about that every day of my life. Oh man!
But he gets a
She can hit me with a barbed wire baseball bat any day of the week.
That's taking a little too extreme.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
That's a little too much there, Louis Steven.
Oh, he's
Anyway,
on my list. Yeah.
let's get into the show.
How
We
come
got
yours is working and mine isn't?
what?
Because I have an iPhone and you don't.
The Periscope's not working for you?
Yeah, no.
You might have to restart it or something.
I already did.
I had to do that.
Yeah, Sean said he can't connect.
He's connected now, but he keeps going in and out.
Yeah, me
So-
too. That's the same thing.
Well, what we'll do is when I play the music, won't you restart it?
Restart it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have another one.
I got you.
But first, let's get into the first segment of the show today is Sound Off. So make sure you stick around because segment 2, we are actually having mind games. Segment 3, we're going to review Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all that. Segment 4 is picks. So stick around for picks. We're going to play mind games, Lil Steven versus the Real Scott Ely. We got 19 questions to go. Oh, that's horrible. All right, anyway, let's go to Sound Off.
I'm quite manly. He can't.
Sound Off, where your voice can be heard.
Sound off, let 'em know how you feel. If the anger inside is real, sound off.
Anyway, welcome back to the show. We got top 5 overrated wrestlers of all time.
Yes.
To me, okay, overrated wrestler is somebody that has held the world championship somewhere, that maybe even a U.S. or IC belt. Not somebody that hasn't held any of those belts yet. You know, the Godfather I could see being up there. I mean, because think how many great matches the Godfather's had. Can you name one?
No, not at all. I have not. See, I go by overrated as overrated in the ring, and just overrated in general, like on
Are
the
you
mic.
talking about Mike and all?
Yeah.
Because to me, you got to go by all. Mike, ring, does he sell out pay-per-views? Is the pay-per-views, you know?
See, I can't see that because like I can see most overrated champions. That would be most overrated champions because champions normally sell pay-per-views. Are we back online?
Yes, we're back online.
We'll
Hopefully,
do it live.
We're
Here in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Hey, welcome to everybody on Periscope. We're finally getting the connection straight, so there's people on there now.
Here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, have a nice day.
I'll fix it. Anyway, we're talking about top 5.
Okay, so you want me to start, Scott? I feel like I should
Well,
start.
we
this.
should go in a what is it? A clock.
Oh, we're going round. We're going
The
around.
Knights of the Round Table
Yes, Little Steven will start.
We have a triangle.
on a pole match.
A triangle on a pole match?
Oh,
Tell me more, sir.
good. I'm glad you like that, Sean. Anyway,
All right. So I got to go with Goldberg, number 5. He's not that far on the list. Here's my thing with Goldberg. Goldberg was, they built him up. They really did. They built him up to be this great next big thing in WCW. He was the one person that came out of the power plant that was big. They made this guy. He was going to be the next, world heavyweight champion. He was going to be the best.
actually, he wasn't the biggest. Big Show was the biggest.
No, I'm saying
That
out of
came
the
out of power plant.
Big Show didn't come out of the power
Yeah,
plant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Did he?
Most everybody in WCW came out of the power. Even DDP came out of the power.
DB. Okay, I'm counting the power plant in.
Hold on. Sean was asking what top 5. Top 5 this week is most overrated wrestlers of all time. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, and Goldberg is on my list, Sean.
And we were talking about, like, overall, James has, like, his way of what they were, if they were a heavyweight champion and they were able to.
No, I can see IC. I can see IC US guys.
So I see your US.
I'm going overall, just like
I would say overall
guys that were built up, or people that were built up and.
Well, like for me, a lot of people would say Hulk Hogan's on the list. I can't see it possible that he's in anybody's top 5 because if you add overall, I mean, he's one of the top 5 wrestlers of all time. If you go entertainment and all. Now, you talking about wrestling ability, yes, he's absolutely overrated. Bruce the Beefcake, that's a good one.
What?
Yeah. No,
No.
That's a good one.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No.
That is
The
a
man
very
who
good one.
stole Paul Heyman's ponytail?
Yeah.
Agreed.
No.
Gore!
Absolutely, he's one. Yeah, there you go. There's another one. Gore.
No, but I'm going with Goldberg. I feel like Goldberg deserves to be on the list. I know you disagree.
I disagree. I think he should be top 10 probably, but yeah, I get it.
I get you.
Mine is the most reddest person in the world. Eva Marie is the most overrated wrestler.
But we haven't seen anything, so I can't see.
This
she's
is her
overrated.
second push in NXT
And
/ WWE. And what happens? She gets suspended for 30 days.
Yep. But I haven't seen anything from her though, so I can't.
But
say
we've
she's
seen things in
Yeah, you
NXT
have.
for
No, I
over a
haven't.
year.
Saw her at San Andreas for the Rock's movie.
I haven't seen her actually do anything. So I can't say
Exactly.
she's
They pushed
overrated.
her in NXT. She did nothing.
They pushed her.
She was
The
at
only
WrestleMania.
The only thing they did in NXT was give her a couple matches. I never actually saw a push where she was doing it for like 6 months.
to go for the championship with Bailey?
She had like one match, and then she had her and Nia Jax in a tag team match, and then she went away. But you never really saw her.
Because they
I get
never
it,
did
though.
anything with her.
She's
That's-
overhyped.
She is.
Overhyped.
No,
I don't know
and
about
she's
overrated.
she's garbage
No.
on the mic and she's garbage in the ring.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. I've never seen enough from her. I would say
Yeah.
she's overhyped, but I get it.
Well, now
Totally.
I'm just kind of sick. I don't want to see her anymore because we've seen her too much of, like, we've seen her enter too much, but she's done nothing. If that makes any sense. She's
Sean,
done.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what
She's done. Sean said Batista number 4.
Uh,
I can see it. Number 5 for me is Daniel Bryan. All right, he's in my top 5 because you're the most overrated wrestler of this era.
Surprised you didn't say
To me.
number 1.
No, he's not number 1. No, when you listen to the rest of my list, you'll see one.
Oh.
It's not all ECW guys.
Oh,
Don't
good.
worry. I changed it up. But Daniel Bryan, one of the most overrated wrestlers I've ever seen. And I'm just talking about Mike, everything else. But
For
you
what
know, I
they
know a
gave
lot
him
of
in
people like-
WWE,
What do you mean
he
what
was.
they gave him? They pushed him as a heavyweight champion.
yeah, towards
They
the end of
did.
his career.
We didn't know he was going to be into his career, though. No one knew that. No one knew that he was going to have a
Well,
neck
after
injury.
that neck injury, yeah, it was pretty much, he was done. And for some reason, he was stupid enough to come back way too early, and it happened again.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have came back, he'd probably still be wrestling.
Sean says, Lex
Hey,
Luger at
hey,
3.
keep up.
Yeah, we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
We're on 3.
Don't go your number
We're
1
on
yet.
4 right now. Like, I'm about to do 4. So,
He
I
was
mean, in Ring of
Watch
Honor,
it
Daniel Bryan was fantastic.
because if you look at Ring of Honor, who was his opponents? CM Punk, Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. That was
wait,
who
are you
he
trying
wrestled.
to tell me those people are good?
Oh, they're 5 of the greatest.
don't,
And
that's double
so
A, man.
anybody that
Don't
says
mess with
he's
him.
hell of a wrestler, look at his matches. They weren't that great. Look at the
in Ring
matches.
of Honor, yeah, they were.
When he wrestled those guys, watch when he went to WWE, he wrestled the Big Show. How great was
Exactly.
those matches? How great was the matches against Mark Henry? How great
How
was
can you
those
put?
kind of
O-
matches?
how can you make a good match out of?
So then, let's take that and put John
He
Cena
could-
in the same thing.
John Cena
Who
would
has John
sell it.
Cena wrestled?
John Cena
That made
at
good
least-
matches?
John Cena, though, you watch his matches, have not been like that. I mean, he
They're-
will put Big Show.
they're bad.
They're not as bad as
because he
Daniel
can pick
Bryan.
up Big Show.
Right.
Daniel Bryan can't pick him up. That,
The
that
matches
should,
will die.
like I said, that's why what they gave him in WWE was just not his style.
No, he could not carry a match. He was not that good in WWE in his matches. I'm just saying because look, Seth Rollins, you give the same guys, he's fine.
Yeah,
But he's not.
You give Dean Ambrose, he's fine. But you put him Daniel Bryan
I'll
because
say-
they're better on the mics than Daniel Bryan is. Daniel Bryan's not good on the mic. He was better when he was a bad guy on the mic. When he was with AJ.
No.
So that's the reason I got him number 5. That's just my opinion. What's your number 4?
Rikishi. Yeah,
All right, I can see that.
I mean, they tried to push him too early. Or not even that they tried to push him too early. It's just he wasn't like they wanted to make him world champion, all this other stuff. He didn't fit the bill.
Would they put him in a storyline that he hit Stone Cold with a car? Really?
And you
For-
screwed
for
him
The Rock.
over,
For
basically.
The
You're
Rock.
Like, okay, Stone Cold, bury this guy right now. That's basically what you told Stone Cold to do. It's not Stone Cold's fault, but I'm saying there's no way he was gonna come out of that. So I put Rikishi on there.
What you got number 4?
I have number 4. It's not going to come as a shock. How much I
raise?
Huh? I raced number 5. Leave me alone. Number 4 is the bane of my existence, Vince Russo. I count him as an overrated wrestler because he did hold the big gold at one time, and that considers him a wrestler. He was a heavyweight champion.
No, he was. Dude, you can do whoever you think is the most overrated. But yeah,
I'll do whoever I want. It's true.
I know.
It's damn true.
Stop it.
No, I get it. I get it.
But no, I mean, for booking standpoints, he was horrible, and he injected himself into the storyline of WCW.
Yeah, and he didn't need to
Way
do
too many
that.
times.
You're right.
He's
Yeah.
not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, you put in storylines, golden. Vince Russo, not so much.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, Mikey Ripwreck. All right, I'm sorry. Mikey Ripwreck
Okay.
is one of the... Dude, come on. Do you really Mikey Ripwreck? Are you a fan of Mikey Ripwreck, really?
Dude, he was the...
He was horrible.
He was okay.
He defeated Stunning Steve Austin. He defeated the man at his peak existence in ECW.
A guy that should never been ECW champion was Mikey Ripwreck.
Well,
Why?
But that's when they were losing most of their talent to the big companies. I mean, they were losing your RVDs, your Sabus, your... Shane Douglas was going back and forth. Taz was leaving. I mean, and Tommy Dreamer never really wanted to hold the belt.
He never wanted
I know,
to hold
but
the belt.
Mikey Ripwreck was not. And then you take him to WCW, and WCW is like, this is one of the biggest free agent signings we've ever had.
Well, at
Baloney.
WCW in that time, he probably was because nobody wanted to go there.
Yeah. But no, Mikey Ripwreck, man, come on. I got him number 4.
right.
Not good on promos, not good in the ring. Just, I took Sabu off the list. Give me credit.
You did?
Yeah.
What?
Hey, you got to give Sabu credit because, I mean, how many men do you know that have competed in a barbed wire match?
What
And live.
wrestling moves does
Terry
he do?
Funk?
Tell me how many wrestling moves
He just
he's got.
retired 2 last year, by the way.
What? I'm not talking about jumping or diving off of chairs or anything else. How many wrestling moves did he have?
He can do a suplex.
1.
He did a suplex.
2. Okay, 2.
Iranian Facebuster.
That's not
Cobra
a-
Clutch.
Throwback? Or
That's
the
not a move.
where you take a neck and boom?
Okay.
That works. Neck breaker, that's one.
2 more than John Cena show says. Yeah.
2 more. Hey, there
All
we
right.
go.
All right. Who you got number 3 there, Slacker?
Okay, Scott Steiner.
Big Bad Booty Daddy.
What? Tell me I'm wrong. Please
Listen,
tell me I'm
if
wrong.
you go to 1999-98,
Okay, yeah, let me rephrase. I'm not talking Steiner Brothers Scott Steiner. I am talking Big Voodoo Daddy Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner with his brother, the Steiner Brothers, was absolutely great. I know you agree. I agree too.
But I mean,
He was bad.
like I said,
98, dude.
like I was saying before, if you count TNA Scott Steiner,
No, I'm talking about 98 when he changed his hair color. He was worded out.
Heck, I'm
He
talking
was
2003 when he
Oh,
faced
no, that's
Triple
even
H.
worse.
That was even worse.
Yeah, like I'm
they
saying-
tried to push him
No,
as
I'm-
a heavyweight
I'm
champion.
WCW.
No, I'm
Scott
saying-
Steiner, I thought was fine, but
No.
yeah, WWE and TNA, yeah. But I mean, he was injured.
98, he was horrible.
Yeah.
With the blonde hair in WCW, and they push him as a world champion.
I remember what Tony Schiavone said like the first time they see him. He goes, "Is that Scott Steiner? Where did he go to California? Got a tan?" And it's the stupidest thing ever.
When Scott Steiner was Steiner Brothers, he was one of the greatest
gosh,
wrestlers,
yes.
you know?
No,
and then
and-
he got worded out.
And I'm not putting his, but see again, we're talking, wrestlers by themselves. We're talking single wrestlers. Now we want to put tag teams on this list. Go ahead, but I ain't doing no tag teams. So, but as a singles guy, he was bad. And TNA, whew,
Yeah. Who you got number 4?
My only ECW.
You only got one ECW?
Yeah, because shut up. The man beast himself, Gore Rhino, multi-time ECW champion, and still on the main roster, Rhino.
How about the time he put Sid in the recliner until he broke his leg?
Because that's how he rolls.
Yeah.
He
was rough.
But, I mean, and you guys know him as, NXT and WWE. I mean, at least in ECW, he was a little more agile. But all he had was the gore, a suplex maybe, and that was it. Punches. He wasn't that good in the ring.
I remember ECW when he
was
when he came out, I was like, oh, crap. And he did some suplexes. Him and Taz had a little good rivalry going.
Well, that's Taz, though.
Well, I know, but I'm saying at that time he was pretty good. Then he went WWE, it just went downhill.
No, when he went to WWE, it was horrible. He just,
But he was still ECW champion when he was in WWE.
I still think Rhino to me was one of those guys that was good in the, I don't want to say minor leagues, but I'm saying he's good as a mid-carder, but not as I don't see him as a heavyweight guy. I don't see him as the main attraction.
No.
I'm not going to go to ECW to see Rhino tonight. That's not my, that's all I say, but, yeah.
Number 3 for me is the Sandman. All right, please try to tell me he's a good wrestler.
No, but his
he
entrance
is
was
the
awesome.
most overrated wrestler of all time.
I think
one of them, because
his entrance was more over than anybody, though.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
his
one of
entrance
his
was cool.
entrance.
More
but
over than
he-
Stone Cold, baby.
No, he wasn't more
Whoa.
than Stone Cold.
I said
No.
entrance.
No, the entrance was more. Stone Cold's was
No,
more
no,
over than his.
no.
Yeah,
just
by far.
power walked
You
to the
can't
ring.
compare a bingo hall to Madison Square Garden. You can't do it. You can't compare them.
Yeah, but he came out of the bingo hall. He didn't.
Hurricane Helmsley, he said.
Oh, God.
I disagree.
Say in the back, there's a hurricane coming through.
But Sandman, dude, come on. He never had. You
But
talking
come
about
on,
Goldberg earlier,
coming through the crowd, beer in hand, kendo stick in hand,
and a cigarette.
and while smoking, chugs the beer, slams it on his head, and goes in the ring.
Or he'll do this.
I didn't say it was one of the coolest entrances. I didn't say that. I was just saying overrated wrestlers. And why in the fact would you ever give this guy a world championship?
He's a construction worker. Give him credit.
Son of a construction worker.
He is a
Anyway, that's my
construction
number 3. Who you got number 2?
Okay, I'm going with a women's wrestler here. Sable.
Agree wholeheartedly.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow? She destroyed Mark Marrow's career.
No, Mark Marrow destroyed.
To be fair.
All right, to be fair, Mark Marrow destroyed his career.
Actually, Mark Marrow destroyed his career when he was Johnny B. Bad. I'm
Johnny
sorry.
B. Bad was actually pretty good. It's when he joined up with Sable that killed his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare you work?
When he was the
See,
wild man.
That's what happens when you work with your wife, your real life wife. I mean,
I don't know. We haven't seen it with Rusev and Lana yet, though. They seem to be doing well.
well, because Lana's more over than Rusev, nobody cares about him.
Nobody cares, yeah.
But
But,
I
yeah.
agree with that.
I'm going with Sable.
She
Like,
was just
I can see that.
garbage.
She just wasn't. They put too much on Sable. Like, this is my issue, like, now with Lana. Like, I feel they're going to push Lana too much where they're going to make her a wrestler, and she's going to suck. You know? And then it's going to destroy Rusev's career, which I don't want to see that. And that was my only issue with Sable. She couldn't wrestle. The Sable Bomb was the worst finisher ever. I'm sorry.
right, and like I think, who was it? I think it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think was talking about Jim Cornette. He was supposed to wrestle Mark Marrow. I think it was an early pay-per-view. It was before he became.
Are you serious?
And a week before, like it was on Raw, a week before, and Sable powerbombed Mark Marrow, on the floor, this and that, And Stone Cold called up Creative and was like, what am I supposed to do with this guy? His wife just powerbombed him and destroyed him. What am I supposed to do? Have like a 2-second match with him?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's
true,
what I
you
consider
can't-
with Sable. I mean,
Sable destroyed his
With
career.
blonde hair bombshells, you have to be careful. All right.
yeah, Trish Stratus.
No, stop. Trish was a different story. She could wrestle. But you go do whatever. She's anybody. Please argue me the
But
fact
she
when
was
she's
never
not one
hooked
top
up with
two.
anybody at one time.
Oh,
Like,
she hooked up with people, but still,
Well, yeah.
that's beside the point. My point is just Sable killed Mark Merrill's career to me. All right, because you got to be careful putting a blonde-haired woman with one of these guys because they might Luckily, it didn't happen with Macho Man. Elizabeth, I mean,
But
was
Elizabeth could have.
if he wasn't so charismatic.
Well,
I mean, and good in the ring, he would have got overshadowed.
right. I mean, if he would have pulled that stuff that he did with like Liz, like if he wasn't as good as he was, I mean, he wouldn't have made it in WWE.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, he
Or
would have been
WCW
gone.
or anywhere
Yeah,
else.
he would have been gone.
My number 2, Mr. Suspension himself.
Hey,
Did you? Oh, you didn't do yours yet?
He hasn't done this yet.
Go ahead. Do your number 2. My fault.
Goldberg. I had him higher on the list because destroy his own career.
Goldberg.
There, do that. Yeah, correct. But yeah, Goldberg, his matches were garbage. Couldn't cut a promo. Way overhyped. I mean, yeah, he sold tickets to pay-per-views, but he was pushed on people.
He got over it.
But the only reason why is they fed him nobodies and gave him 2-minute matches with them. Like, if they would have done that with Ryback for a year, then he would have been over. Or like they're doing with Braun.
Did, though.
Not for over a year.
No.
Just like they're doing with Braun Strowman and like what they're doing.
He lost pay-per-views. That's what killed Ryback. That's a different story, though. But Strowman, you said?
Strowman and Nia Jax, they're doing the same thing. But they did it with Goldberg for over a year until they finally put him with Nash. And then, of course, Nash was like, I don't want to. lose to
Little
Goldberg."
history lesson for you. Who was Goldberg's first opponent on Nitro?
Ooh, I know this.
Come on.
Hugh Douglas.
No.
Or no, Jumping Jack Flash.
Was it
No,
Hugh Morris?
Hugh
Yes.
Morris, yeah.
Thanks, James.
Well, no, he's getting warmed up for the
I was
match.
trying to get him warmed up over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, he's getting ready. Listen,
I actually knew that. I did.
I
and
get.
It took me.
I get Goldberg. The only thing about Goldberg is the reason I think Goldberg got over so much is Stone Cold Steve Austin is one thing, okay? Because that bald-headed, muscular guy, people were just like, oh, and everybody's stuck in that undefeated streak. Yes, he wrestled a lot of jobbers.
And I think his
different
entrance
things.
helped him, too.
His entrance was cool.
He's a dragon.
Right.
Wrestling changed during
At that time, yeah.
All right,
And he was
before
also
him.
a popular football player, too.
Right. Not
Well-
really. He played for Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, for
Nobody was
like
famous.
2 or 3 years.
Okay, well, yeah, but in Georgia, he was famous.
Okay.
Considering
I know, but
WCW was Atlanta based.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, but yes, I totally get the Goldberg thing. Moving on, number 2 for me, the suspension. Alberto Del Rio is my number 2. There has been, and I know he's had some great matches with John Cena,
CM
Punk, but he is and Dolph Ziggler even. He is Botch Rio to me, is number 2 most overrated wrestler of all time. Just because he botches everything. Then he comes back to WWE, signs a huge contract, and now he's complaining because he's not being pushed. Well, guess what, dude? You ain't that good.
I think if he's with a guy that's good in the ring, they have great matches. But if you're going to put him with, say, a Cena, who can't work good in the ring with holds, then yeah, he's going to look horrible. Just like that
But
match
he
on
looked
SmackDown.
good with Cena. He's always looked good with Cena, though. That's the weird thing. You put him with Cena, he's fine. You put him with Kalisto or Baron Corbin.
Yeah, he looks bad.
He looks horrible because he's not that good.
But like I said, he's with guys that aren't good in the ring. He needs to be guys. Are you saying Baron Corbin's good?
He doesn't make anybody better,
that's
is my point. And the most overrated wrestlers are people that don't make people better. And he never has.
But that's what I'm saying
Great
is
colleague.
if he's with somebody that's good in the ring, their matches are good. But if he's with something, I don't say overrated. I think he's bad.
No, he's
Or
overrated.
he's not.
He is absolutely 100% overrated. And part of it is WWE because they push him straight to the world champion the same way they did with Roman Reigns, and he didn't work his way up through U.S. title, IC title.
But
They
the
pushed him
thing,
right for the world
he
title. They
was
shouldn't have.
over with the fans as a heel when they pushed him like that.
Because he was fighting John Cena and CM Punk. That's the reason he was over with the fans.
Yeah, as a heel. But I'm saying he was a great heel as that was. Like
At the time, but then it went downhill because guess what? Edge retired. CM Punk left. John Cena moved on to different rivalries. To me, you got to be able to go with somebody else. Daniel Bryan couldn't go with anybody else besides those main guys. The same thing with Del Rio. Del Rio could not go with these other guys. I know, listen, you can make Big Show, yes, has not always had great matches, but he can at least go a little bit with some of these other guys.
Yeah.
Not anymore, he can't. He
Not
hasn't been able
now.
to go in the ring for 10 years.
Right, but how Del Rio's not been around, what,
Like-
7 years? Okay, maybe. Even when he left, total, maybe 7 years.
Yeah, I'll say 09 or 2010 he was there.
Big Show's been around since been 90s, dude, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is Paul White could put a guy over like that or help in the ring, but not Big Show, who since, the mid-2000s can't even move in the ring.
Right, but he was, during that time period, he was good. I'm just saying, Del Rio is one of the most overrated because he cannot wrestle. You watch him botch. Kalisto's not a bad wrestler. Kalisto's actually a good wrestler. He botches that because he's not. Rey Mysterio's not there anymore. Anyway, that's just my number 2.
Okay.
What's your number 1?
Ultimate Warrior.
Agreed.
Wow.
I like that, yeah.
Look,
I get it. No, I get it.
no disrespect to anyone who was an Ultimate Warrior fan. No disrespect to Ultimate Warrior himself. Rest in peace. But here was my issue, is that I felt he thought he was bigger than he was. He wasn't a Hogan. He wasn't. He was okay in the ring, but, we talk about our what-ifs and all that all the time, but what if he did not win? If Hogan would have kept, or if Hogan would have been the IC, they were trying to pass the torch and it just didn't work.
No, it worked, but then you put him against other people.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of the same thing earlier we were talking about. You gave him the IC belt in 10 seconds, and then you pushed him straight for the world championship.
Yeah, that was just...
And that was stupid.
Yeah.
What was really stupid was that you gave him the IC title belt after the Honky Tonk Man's, 54-week reign, and beat him in 30 seconds. That's what makes
year reign.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it really... I agree, because all he did in the ring was, the gorilla...
He did a gorilla press and the slam.
And the splash.
And the splash, yeah. That was it.
And hold the ropes and start shaking him and run.
He had let's be real. He had cool
and he
entrance.
was horrible
Yeah.
on the mic.
Absolutely horrible.
Oh, it was very horrible. That's why they did that whole gimmick, because he could not talk. He literally could not talk on the mic. But,
All right.
It's just how I feel about
What's
it.
your number 1?
The Great Khali. Just one of the worst guys you can put a belt on in WWE.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, I guess you really.
Can you argue that, really?
I don't care. I mean, that's the point.
But at least when Del Rio had the belt, he can move around in the ring. Granted, if he botched half the moves. But Great Khali.
Okay,
come on.
name me another guy that was the same height as Great Khali
Johnny
that could
Gonzalez.
move. He could not move.
No,
Johnny
I said
Gonzalez.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Big Show.
But I'm saying someone
Wait,
of that.
how big was Khali? 7
Hey,
foot?
yeah.
Yeah. Big Show's only.
Hey, don't forget, Andre Giant was huge.
Yeah.
But he could move a little bit before he hurt his back.
Before,
Yeah. No, him, yeah.
Pre-1980s, he could actually go in
But
the
what
ring.
I'm saying is,
Remember the Big Show. I mean, I know Big Show's not exact same
Yeah.
size. He could do drop kicks. He would jump over the top of the rope. Mm-hmm. He would do dives off the turnbuckle.
but there was a lot that couldn't do it. Great Khali, Giant Gonzalez, what's his name? Guy from the Oddities.
Braun Strowman can't do it
Braun
right now.
Strowman,
But we don't know because we haven't seen everything.
There's
he
a
can
lot
squash
of big
jobbers.
guys that just cannot do it. I mean, hell, if you want to talk about it, Kevin Nash really didn't do much. He didn't do much in the ring. He wasn't. I'm not putting him in the same category as Great Khali.
Well, at least he can talk. Like you said earlier before we went on air, was he could talk at least.
Yeah, that was the thing.
You
with
give him Mike
in
Evans, he sold
WCW.
it.
Yeah,
But
And-
Great Khali couldn't speak. He
Couldn't
could barely
speak.
speak English.
And that
And
was
he
the issue. Is that
and
they
he
tried
was
to push
horrible
him.
in ring.
If they would have never let that guy talk, I feel it would have been a little bit better. I think it would have been a little bit better if you would have just let him not talk.
Yeah, let Scene talk all the time. All right, what's your number? Oh,
That was my number
that was your number one.
Thank you, Steven.
My number one. This should not be a surprise to anybody that knows me.
Wait, hold on. Let me guess.
You won't guess. Go ahead. I don't think you'll guess.
All right. You said Alberto. Who does James hate the most?
No,
Ric Flair?
No. Shit. Yeah. Okay.
Jake the
You
Snake?
ain't got it. Yeah, no. I love
Psycho
Jake the Snake.
Sid.
I don't hate Psycho Sid. Number one most overrated wrestler of all time to me. Oh, Sean says Vince McMahon's number one.
Hey, he could sell a stunner.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He could sell some moves. To me, the number one most overrated wrestler of all time is Steve Corino. Absolutely.
Really?
We went to Ring of Honor, and watching his match was utter.
But it was a street fight.
It doesn't matter. It's just no. Listen to the crowd. Steve Corino. Steve Corino.
ECW.
No,
ECW.
they said Steve Corino.
ECW. And ECW chant started too.
And he was horrible in ECW. He never did a wrestling move. Can you name a wrestling move he ever did? I can't remember. He always used a weapon for something.
Well, because that was ECW.
No, I get it. But we're talking about overrated wrestlers of all time. He is the one guy I always hear. I'm like, what has he ever done, really? I mean, he was an ECW champion because everybody else left. You're talking about people leaving.
Yeah, that was towards
everybody
the
else
end
left.
when everybody, pretty much everybody was gone. ECW.
Drop toe hold? Really?
Armbar.
I know another guy. If you're talking about Steve Corino, what about what's his name? Chris
Candido?
No. Chris Candido is
No,
actually
Chris
good.
Candido
Saw
was
him many
good.
times
I
in
know you're talking-
XWW.
No, Chris was all right, but he was never.
He was not an ECW
Listen.
original, though.
No. Chris, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Chris though was okay, but he was never a
That's
champion.
what I was going
really?
to say was what Sean said, Chris Masters.
No, not
Chris.
that one. Yeah, he's up
He's
there.
overrated.
I know
Yeah.
who you're talking about, but to me, Steve Corino, dude,
I don't consider him
he
like
he
a big
embarrass-
name.
To me,
number one
he
overrated.
embarrasses ECW.
Who? Steve
All right?
Corino?
Yes, because to me, RVD, Tommy Dreamer, those guys are ECW. This guy took it another step forward, another step. At least Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, and these other guys could do wrestling moves. This guy couldn't.
DDT.
See, now he's got to talk good about Tommy Dreamer. I love it. Anyway.
You know what? I'm going to hit him up on Twitter.
So-
if I don't get a chance to see this guy, I am going to hit him up on Twitter and say, hey, if a guy named James interviews you, this is what he says. I'm going to send him links of what he says.
Send him all the links. No. But if you're going to talk about Steve Corino, what about Mike Awesome? What about all those guys at that time? Because Mike Awesome was just as horrible.
No, but you know what?
But he could move, though, for a big
Or
guy.
he could move, and he has some.
he
Listen,
could not.
Listen, no, he could.
Over the top rope
hold on.
dive?
With him and Taz, I know it was Taz, had some very good matches.
No, well,
Steve
no.
Corino, I can never remember.
No, because
a
Taz
match.
was gone then.
He did. He had. They
No,
I
'cause-
know they did.
no.
When Taz and
When-
Mike
Taz
Austin
ca-
beat Taz for that belt.
Taz, they had to bring WWE, let Taz go back to ECW to beat Mike Awesome because
Kiss
he was
Hammer.
going to WCW.
Chris Hamrick.
Chris Hamrick, that's it. He says he's an ECW original. I've never heard of him before.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But anyway, I don't remember beating Taz for the title.
yeah, he beat Taz.
We left after.
I'll look.
I
at
think
it.
it's when Taz left. Is when he
Because
beat
I
him.
know they sent Taz back to beat him, like actually beat him because he was leaving. And then Taz dropped it to Tommy Dreamer.
Or he already left or something.
No, he was already gone, WWE.
Yeah,
Taz.
no, but Mike Awesome already signed a contract.
Yeah,
with
he was signed
WCW.
everything and wasn't going to drop the belt.
yeah.
He was-
April 28th no, that's uploaded. What was this? 2013, January 17th, 2013, ECW Championship.
2013?
Mike Awesome went back against. Yeah, I'll look at it, but yeah, around that time. Anyway, that's our
Okay.
top 5.
I'm trying to think if there was any that we missed, but I think we had it pretty well, gentlemen.
Yeah, between all three of us, we covered.
I think we did pretty good on that. I can't
Now-
really think of any others.
I had some other ones I was going to put on the list, but
Some honorable mentions, you might say.
no, I mean, really, I did. You
Sin
know,
Cara.
Sin Cara was all right. I was going to put Shane Douglas, to me, one of the most overhyped wrestlers of all time.
Calm down.
No, overhyped. I say overhyped. I'll took away wrestlers because they push him as the next great thing in WCW because we got our first, and then he gets buried by Ric Flair. No, Ric Flair embarrassed him because he can't wrestle.
Hey, it's Shane Douglas. He was part of the Dynamic Dudes, okay?
Yep, him and
Dynamic Dudes.
Laurinaitis.
Johnny Laurinaitis.
Johnny Ace over.
I mean, and I get what you're saying, though, but I think he did reinvent himself, though, in the 90s.
When he was in ECW,
I think Shane, what? What do you mean?
Okay.
the franchise.
I think I think with ECW, he really did he changed ECW into Extreme Championship.
No, he didn't. Okay, first of all, you name yourself the franchise, and you wasn't a franchise. Were you a franchise?
He was a franchise ECW.
The only thing I saw when you were the franchise was you owned a part of McDonald's down the street. Okay, you was a franchise of that. All right, no, come on.
But he was the franchise ECW. He took the NWA belt and turned it into the Extreme, the ECW belt. He made that heavyweight division what it was with him and Bam Bam, him and Taz. I think you can put him and Sabu. You can put him with anybody, and he was good. That's just the thing. You put him with guys like, in WCW and WWE at that time, they weren't the greatest of wrestlers.
Yeah,
I'm defending ECW guy. I get cut off.
No, we're trying to end this segment. Listen, I just think he was overrated. All right, he's one of my guys. I will say he's overrated or overhyped.
So any of you ECW fans out there, if you'd like to send us some hate mail, we are WrestlingWithAttitude.com, Wrestling with Attitude, or at WWA Show.
If you would like to tweet me at WWA Show, BSS Carolinas, send me an email to james.s.summit. I don't care. That's just my opinion, and you heard from
Tommy Dreamer.
The Summit. Have a good day of wrestling.